Wipe my hands. What's up, sis? Uh-oh. Sis, what's going on? Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I'll call you right back. All right. Okay, y'all. So I'm trying to figure out how I can put this up on the screen and I be on the screen at the same time, but it's just like in the middle of the screen. But anyway, I want to tell you guys about this awesome event. What's happening, Cookie? Where y'all at? I ain't been on here in so long. Y'all probably like, do Angie even go live anymore? Lifestyle with Tessie. What's up, sis? Joy, peace. What's up, sis? What y'all got going? Listen, I wanted to tell y'all about this event that I'm bringing to Georgia, okay? It's a conversation with RFK. And in this conversation with RFK, Queen Regina, what's up, sis? Chanel, what's happening? I miss y'all. Let me remove this for a minute so y'all can just see my face. Hey, y'all. I'm so happy to be back. Listen, I'm going to be coming back. I'm going to be going live at least once a week so we can talk about this RFK campaign. Man, Smoke City, what's happening? Mo Cherokee, what's up, sis? One thing about Smoke gonna find me. So I know I'm finna get ready to go find her over on IG or Twitter somewhere. Smoke is going to find me. I miss you guys too, but listen, I'm getting ready to start back going live once a week, and it's going to be called Ask Kennedy 24. The ASK meaning Angela Stanton King, of course, but where you guys can come in and you can ask me about the campaign. You can ask me about his policies. You can ask me about his agendas. You can ask me about, hey, you guys want to go here at this date? We can just talk about all of it, okay? So Ask Kennedy 24. We're going to be starting that the beginning of February, guys. I'll be doing that once a week. So we getting ready to get it back cracking, okay? So some other things that I want to talk to you guys about. If you are here in Atlanta, first of all, guys, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe because you know they're going to hate on your sis. But I figure it's lunchtime. Maybe we can get some people in. Maybe we can't. They're going to come back and watch it. But anyway, let me show you guys this. So a conversation for Black women with independent president. You know what? Let me go live on YouTube too. Let me go live on YouTube because I'm not YouTube on Instagram. Let me go live on Instagram. Hold on, y'all. Everybody calling. Jamel, I'm live right now. I'm going to call you back. Okay, bye. Let's do this. Y'all give me a second. Give me a second. Y'all can check out who on there while we doing this. I'm going to turn this around. Okay. Conversation for, let me see, Black women. I'm just putting the title in here, y'all. Hold on. Okay. We're going to go live. So now we live on IG. Okay, there we go. Is it the way? Nope, there's no way to put a picture on there. But that's fine. Okay, so a conversation for Black women. Let's talk about this for a minute. This is happening in Atlanta, Georgia. MLK weekend, January the 13th. This is on a Saturday. We are going to be at the YG Urban Cafe, and we are having a conversation for Black women with independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Angela, what are you doing? Why are you bringing him to our community? Why do we need to talk to him? Well, we need to talk to him. We need to talk to everybody about our issues. Everybody needs to hear about what's important to us. So I have gone through a very selective group of young ladies to speak with Mr. Kennedy about issues that are important to us. Now, first of all, y'all don't even have to ask because you already know if I got anything to do with it. You know what I'm talking about. This Black maternal health crisis. And I've said this 1,000 times again. How? Okay, so for those of you that are watching, you need to make sure that you scan the QR code. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you're on YouTube of the screen, so you can scan by the QR code or to take you straight to the link. Somebody said, can we ask him about Epstein Island? Yeah, of course you can. You can also go look up his news segment where they already asked him this on the news, and he did a whole interview, and he said that he's never been to Epstein Island. He said that he flew on the plane with his wife and children to Florida, but he's never been to Epstein Island. And for one, what I appreciate about him is he didn't try to hide from it. He didn't try to run from it. He was honest and upfront about it. So I don't know about all that. He ain't on no list now. I ain't seeing all that. But I am very, very confident that Kennedy nor Bobby would be with, not Bobby Kennedy or Trump, if they had something to do with what was going on with Epstein Island, that they would be bucking against the government like this. So I mean, y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. The way that I feel personally, I personally feel that Trump nor Kennedy had anything to do with Epstein Island. And you got to think, we talking about a circle of elite people where you all hang in the same circle. You see me with Boosie, that don't mean me and Boosie do the same thing. So because you seen somebody with somebody, he already admitted to being on a plane. He was never on Epstein Island. Y'all talking about a list. Y'all don't know what's the real list from the fake list. I ain't seen no new list. The list that they talking about that's out now, been out forever. What new information has come out that nobody knew? So anyway, things that are important to us in our community, right? Which is, for one, Angel McCoughtry. She is a WNBA star. I thought that it would be important to bring her to the table to have her discuss her position on gender in sports. I think gender in sports is something that impacts us all. I mean, we have members of our family, members of our community that are LGBTQ. It's not homophobic. We're not against them, but we need to have this real conversation. Do you really want biological males playing on the same team as females? That's a good question. How do you feel about that? How does somebody in sports feel about that? Let's talk about what we're doing in our community. Another thing that we're going to talk about is censorship. Shay McCray is somebody who I thought was excellent to bring to the table to discuss censorship, because she's a huge voice in the Atlanta community. And she's already been on the radio. She's been on reality TV. So the Shay McCray would be perfect to speak about censorship. Censorship has impacted us all. Censorship has impacted us all because we've all watched, if not our own pages get banned, but other people that we follow get banned, people that we look up to. We've seen people be hated on, okay? So if you want to look up Shay McCray, you can just go do a quick Google on her and you'll find out who she is. Alexia Adams is a friend of mine. She also played basketball and was on a reality show, Put a Ring on It. And her topic is Black business empowerment. Black business empowerment is something that's important, especially when we were talking about our communities and we talking about our economy, and we are discussing how that money stays in and circulates in our economies. Well, guess what? We need to be owning our own businesses. We need to be owning our own banks. We need to be owning our own schools. We got a Black maternal health crisis. Well, do we need to own our own hospitals? What is the issue with it when it comes to Black communities that we can't have full control and ownership over our own communities? Like, we always have to have, and I'm not making this racist, but when you go into certain communities, they're owned by their own people. Like here in Atlanta, we have a community on Beaufort Highway, and everything over there is owned by that community. Okay. In certain white communities you go in, like, but when it comes to the Black community, for some reason, and we do have Black businesses, are we supporting those Black businesses? But we also have what? An Asian business everywhere. People are asking what's his stance on reparations. Guess what? He is in full support of reparations. But guess what he said? That he knows 100%. Congress is not going to pass reparations. So this is one of the things that I appreciate about Kennedy. I appreciate the fact that he's not willing to come in and lie just to get your vote and say, yeah, I'll do it. He's saying, listen, I know another way that both sides will support that we can get to pass Congress. If I tell you right now that I can go in and I can get reparations and it doesn't happen, and people that's upset about it, first of all, shout out to Kennedy for being one of the first presidential candidates to even mention reparations. Because you'll never hear it from Trump. You'll never hear it from Biden. You know, this is the first person who has shown an interest in giving the Black community this type of support. So do we need to come to the table and figure out how it can be done? Absolutely. Instead of leaving people on Promise Street, Nothing Avenue, why ain't reparations been passed? Let's just be for real. This has been a talk since before Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. You want somebody that's going to be honest with you, or you want somebody that's going to lie to you? And I prefer somebody that's going to lie to me. So if you can get the community the reparations that it needs, but you have to put it in another word. You have to take reparations off of it. You got to, finesse the paper. What I want is someone who is willing to invest in our communities, willing to invest in Black America. That's what my focus is. And that's why I'm working with this team. And I wouldn't, first of all, I ain't bringing nobody to the community that I don't believe in. I'm not bringing anybody to the community that I haven't personally worked with myself. Because one of the things y'all have to remember with me, and when it comes to Kennedy, I was working with Kennedy prior to him even announcing that he was running for office. I was the one going from city to city with Kennedy, even brought Kwame, y'all remember, on the Defeat the Mandates. We was fighting against medical apartheid. We was fighting against the discrimination that was taking place. Kennedy and his family have a very long history of contributions to our civil rights movement. Kennedy is a lawyer. Kennedy has sued Big Pharma. Kennedy is not afraid. So listen. The platinum plan that Trump is offering is wonderful. I support any legislation that benefits our community. Like I said when Trump was in office, why are Black people turning down the platinum plan just because it don't have the word reparations on it? Just because it didn't have the word reparations on it, instead of Black people voting for $500 billion specifically for Black businesses, they went and voted for the white man that said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. And he ain't promised not an ounce of reparations. So what I want our people to do is let's get focused on policy and not a word. Because we could miss out on our blessing looking for a word, okay? You don't have to wrap it up in Black wrapping paper to give it to me, long as I get it, okay? You ain't got to put it in some type of pretty see-through box, long as when I open that box, it's in there, okay? Listen, this another reason why I'm supporting this independent space for us all to come together, and I'm opening up the floor for us to have these conversations, and Kennedy is not afraid to have these conversations, and we know that we have opposing view, but as a people, what are we going to do to finally push our country forward? Because one thing that we all know for sure is that the Democrats and the Republicans can't stop fighting for 1 minute to get anything done for the American people. Are y'all listening to me? Everything is about Ukraine. Everything is about Israel. Everything is about Gaza. Everything is about Palestine. 1 minute is Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter ran through here, tore up the whole country. After Black Lives Matter, somehow it was an anti-Asian hate crime bill passed. I don't know how all that happened. I don't know how the Asian community was able to get an anti-Asian hate crime bill passed in 72 hours, saying because of the hate that they endured during COVID. Now, they had a whole Stop Asian Hate program. Y'all listen to me, right? They had a whole stop, and look at Jeezy divorce. Now, was all that Stop Asian Hate, and you done told us to trap or die. We run around here trying to blow up dope in the microwave, and you gonna get on and say stop. But Jeezy, my boy, though, so shout out to Jeezy. Jeezy always have looked out to the community. Let me go back to what I'm talking about, okay? Somehow, the Asians get an anti-Asian hate crime bill passed in 72 hours due to the hate that they endured during COVID. Black people, again, I keep telling y'all about jumping on everybody fight for our fight, okay? I keep telling y'all again several times. Stop jumping on everybody fight but our fight. Y'all don't sit up there and help the Asians get a bill and $50 million from the American Rescue Fund, and we still up here begging and trying to convince people why we have value, and at the same time arguing to kill our own children. I'm going to try to help y'all as much as I can. I'm going to try to help y'all as much as I can. And I'm going to thank God. Because see, what y'all not finna do. Let me tell y'all what y'all not finna do. What y'all not finna do is make me feel bad in any type of way for working with the King family, the Trump family, or the Kennedys to get things passed and pushed forward on behalf of Black America. Now, what you also should appreciate is the fact that many of you that follow me, y'all been following me some time now. Y'all done had time to discern whether or not your sister, you know, if I'm for real, if I'm for fake, you know, if I'm about business, you know what I'm about. You know, I got cussed out, dragged for filth for walking in the Trump White House, but walked out with tangibles, right? It's like what they gonna say. Now, you can talk all that. We have to get something from every administration. From like, one thing, y'all know I cannot stand Joe Biden. Let's just tell the truth. And I prayed this morning and I said, Lord, please, I don't know what this is that I have in my heart towards this man. Because every time I see him, he's sniffing somebody's children. And y'all know I love kids. But I said, Lord, please just remove this from me. Whatever this is that I have about Joe Biden. But one thing that I'm not going to do, you won't see me using my platform, right, to dog out the brothers and sisters that are working with Joe Biden to try to get things pushed on behalf of our community. I can't stand that man. But if one of us got to connect and you can go in there and you can get something done on behalf of our community, then guess what? Even if I ain't with you, I ain't going to be against you. That's how we got to get in our community, because we have to be everywhere, whether y'all know it or not. We need something from every administration. Everybody that's willing to help us move forward in any type of way. What we have to do is, guess what? Let them help. If we got somebody who's running for president, who's interested in helping the Black community, who's invested in helping the Black community, when y'all, if you from Atlanta, just, I don't know, raise your hand or put ATL in the comments or something like that. Because I want to know when y'all have ever seen a presidential candidate, not Kamala Harris. I ain't talking about Kamala Harris, because first Kamala was an Indian and then she was an Asian, and now she the first Black vice president, all while married to a white man. I don't know. Okay, but we ain't even going to go there. Yep, you can email me about the volunteers on the 13th, but y'all need to email me. If it's regarding the campaign, you need to email me at angela@teamkennedy.com. angela@teamkennedy.com. So this is what I'm saying. When have we seen a candidate at this type of level, right, of a Kennedy or a Trump, or don't even talk to me about whole Biden, because I'm still asking the Lord to help me with that. But come into the west end of Atlanta, Georgia, to sit down and have a conversation with us about what's important to us. I put up the post. I heard some people saying just a conversation. Well, the conversation is how it starts. Don't you want these policy makers to hear directly from you versus these people that done sold us out for a check? Because every time I hear somebody talking to a politician about what we need when it comes to Black women, for some reason, and I'm not going to get started, I just feel like Black women deserve more than abortion. And I'm not going to let nobody make me feel bad about that. Like, offering Black women a free opportunity to execute their offspring, to me, I feel like we can do better than that. Especially when you tell them the illegal immigrants to come over the border with all their baby daddies and 50 million children. Y'all don't have no abortion clinics at the border. Hello, somebody. Y'all don't have the abortion clinics at the border. Yes, I am. Someone said, why can't you tell us? I can tell you a lot about Kennedy policies. We talking right now. Like, you believe it or not, I haven't found anything that I disagree with Kennedy on other than abortion. But that didn't stop me from disagreeing with Kennedy or working with Kennedy, because guess what? 90% of y'all don't agree with me on abortion, but I still love you. You're still mine. We gonna argue it out all day, and eventually I am convinced that I am going to make you see the value in Black life. You're not going to hate me because I'm advocating for Black life. And I'm not going to hate you because you don't understand. But when we get through, y'all gonna understand. Kennedy gonna understand. Congress gonna understand. America is gonna understand, because I mean it when I say it. There is value in life, particularly Black life. We gonna get it together. And if Kennedy willing to work with me, as radical as I am, y'all know how hard I go about y'all. I mean, here's the thing. We're going to talk about the policies all day, but you know you can go to Kennedy24.com at any time. You know you can come to this event and hear for yourself in person, right? You know that too. I know y'all want to hear directly from me, but I'm opening up the platform for you to hear directly from him. I want you to hear what I hear, because this is something that I learned, and we want to bring him to all our communities. This is something that I learned when I was rolling with Trump, right? When I was rolling with Trump, I would sit there and I would hear everything Trump said. By the time we looked at the news, they done cut Trump's speech, clipped it, narrated it, said how they wanted to say it, when they wanted to say it, and how they wanted to say it, and already framed your mind to receive the message in a certain way. And I'm sitting up there saying, that man did not say that. Right? But the general public does not know. Another example, when COVID hit, right? What do y'all want to know? Ask the questions. Ask the questions. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? We talked about his support, targeted community repair, funding our communities, funding Black communities. What else do you want to know? He's pro-life. He's pro-choice. He's pro-choice. But he understands that choosing to keep the baby is also a choice. We in the middle. He supports 2A, right? But he also knows that we need to do something about gun violence. Why do you think that this man is willing to come to our communities and have this conversation? We all feel the same way, especially those of us in the Black community. We don't believe in giving up our firearms, but we have been impacted by senseless gun violence. Ain't that a conversation to have? Somewhere in the middle? This argument that we having about pro-choice, pro-life, don't we got to come somewhere in the middle? I can't convince y'all to agree with me. You can't convince me to agree with you, but we can meet in the middle. We can say, okay, I still believe a woman should have her choice. But you're right, Ange. Why aren't we supporting the women that choose life? Because keeping the baby is also a choice. That's where we meet in the middle. Everybody pro-choice, because keeping the baby is also a choice. And there's a lot of women. He's strong on border security. He understands how immigration is destroying our communities. Like, why do y'all think I'm crazy? I'm just asking the question. Some of y'all might do. And have y'all ever seen me get involved in something and not produce some type of result? And I'm not talking about being self-serving. Y'all been following me for years. You ain't seen your sister out here stunting and just putting on and always trying to show off that she got some money and showing off a big old house. I haven't been self-serving. It's always been about the community. So you guys are going to have to trust. See, none of you trust any of these politicians. Anyway, you only here because of me. And I appreciate that. And I honor that. And I'm grateful to not only have the favor of those of you in the community that trust me, but to have the favor of these people that can help me, help us make a difference. 2024, y'all, we're not in a space where we can continue to fight. We have to come to a space in 2024 where we can be solution-based only, because we're never going to agree on everything. You don't agree on everything with your mama. You don't agree on everything with your husband. You don't agree on everything with your children. But does that mean that we have to continuously create this atmosphere of hate and canceling? You telling me because I'm pro-life, I can't go sit down at the table with my sisters who pro-choice and have a conversation? You telling me that they got to X me out or cancel me because I want to support life? That doesn't even make sense. This is a place where we're coming to the middle. We're coming to the middle. We're moving forward. You have questions. You want your questions answered. The beginning of February, we're going to have a weekly segment, Ask Kennedy. ASK, Angela Stanton King. You're going to be able to ask me. We're going to talk about everything you want to talk about. We're going to go through the policies one by one. And guess what? I don't expect y'all to agree on everything. You think I agree with everything Trump did? No, I didn't. But what I did agree with was his stance on criminal justice reform. And I wasn't going to miss out on the opportunity to work with him on criminal justice reform and get some of our people home just because people are mad. I'm not going to miss out on the opportunity to work with Kennedy to eradicate the Black maternal health crisis and find some form of reparation for Black America. I am more than confident. I'm not going to miss out. Listen. Trump invited me to his White House. He'll invite me back. If Kennedy get in for whatever reason, I have a seat in his White House. Like, I don't have beef with these people. Y'all making it beef. I don't have beef with these people. Like, we gonna thank God for favor. We gonna thank God that we got a foot in the door with all of them. That's what we're gonna thank God for. And we're gonna figure out how these people can hear directly from us. And I can be your mouthpiece. That's cool. But you have to see some form of appreciation in me bringing these people to the community so that they can hear from you. Showing up ain't going to kill you. Not in this day and age of censorship. OG Patrice, you absolutely right. We got to have a seat at the table. If you don't have a seat at the table, then your voice is not being heard. Let's get on to it. So listen, we support. That's what I'm saying about this independent space. Like, why do people have to feel like they got to choose between the lesser of two evils, right? We know the Democrats, we can't keep going that way. We know that. I don't have to sit up here and say nothing other than the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results, right? So there's no need for me even to drive the nail on the head or the hammer or whatever the saying is about the Democrats. Y'all already know what's going on with the Democrat Party. But if Black people are saying we do not trust Republicans, but we are tired of the Democrat Party, why do they not have an independent space to go to? I have experienced good and bad with Republicans. I've experienced good and bad with Democrats. We need to be in an independent space where if it's a policy that benefits us, we can be free to vote without loyalty to a party. Loyalty to a party is what's helped destroy our communities because we thinking we got to vote Democrat just because we Black. And every policy the Democrat have that I'm hearing about today in Congress is something that does not help build the economy up. Like, you voting for our children to have 78 different sexual orientations doesn't help the Black community. Nobody I know is sending their kid to school to learn about 78 different genders. You voting for women to have a reproductive right that they already got. You got a God-given right to reproduce. Why you letting somebody tell you that they fighting for your reproductive rights? They actually fighting to stop your reproductive rights. Women's rights. Women's rights. We fighting for women's rights. What kind of women's rights kill the women of tomorrow? Don't you got to be born to become a woman? What about the women of tomorrow? Planned Parenthood planned. Women of color, colored women. Birth control, controlled birth. Everything they give us is ass backwards. And none of the stuff that we thought we were fighting for that benefited, we thought we were fighting for something that benefited or uplifted our community. What has gotten our community to where it's at? Why hasn't the Black community advanced? Because if we look back to the days of Harlem Nights or wherever we want to go, Black people were successful. They owned their own homes. Mother and the family was in, and then all of a sudden came welfare and Section 8 and family separation. Is all of this Democrat voting? Because y'all do know that before we went Democrat, we was Republican, right? Y'all know that. Y'all know the first 23 Republicans were Black. Y'all know that, right? Now, do Republican policy have good policies? Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. And that's why many of them align with Kennedy. You got a lot of the same policies, believe it or not. But are the Republicans willing to put a focus on the Black community? No, they're not. I know because I done tried it. Trump will give it to you, but they buck on Trump. The Republican Party hasn't supported Trump. They've allowed Trump to get indicted 4 times. And notice, man, I'm not finna start no argument. I'm not finna start no argument. We need to be in a space where we're allowed to come together, regardless of what we don't agree on, find a solution, come together, push our community forward. I am focused right now on the Black community. It's not because I don't care about any other community. I'm focused on the Black community because, let me give you a perfect example. I sat and watched, had my own personal experience, okay, with my organization being burned to the ground during a time of BLM, our first pregnancy location. Republicans know that I'm advocating for Black life. They know that I am fighting to eradicate the Black maternal health crisis. Republicans did not support this life-saving initiative. And I believe not a couple of Republicans did, but we just talking overall, because you know we had an online fundraiser. We only raised $18,000. We just talking about overall. But I do believe that it's because there is an emphasis on Black life. I've experienced running as a Republican. Yes, I got some support from some Republicans, but the overall majority party does not support Black candidates the way that they should, nor do they support Black-owned organizations the way that they should. I am focused on the Black community because after I sat there and begged, and they watched me beg, and you guys see the work that I do because I'm always posting receipts. Immediately, Republicans giving funding to Ukraine. Immediately, Republicans seeing the need to giving funding to Israel. And I don't have a problem with that. Let's support as many people as we can. But how can you continue to overlook your own people sitting in your own yard? Make America great should include everybody that's in America, everybody that's an American. If you're an American, I don't care what you look like. If you're born on this land, you're an American. That should include you. We always jumping the gun, both sides, Democrats too. Seeing them asking for a ceasefire in Gaza. You ain't asked for no ceasefire in Chicago. You ain't asked for no ceasefire down here in Atlanta after that Rayshard Brooks shooting when that baby Sequoia Turner got her head blown away. You ain't asked for no ceasefire. You ain't asked for no ceasefire down there in LA. You ain't asked for no ceasefire over there in St. Louis. You ain't how? Everybody, Democrats and Republicans, if you ain't focused on what's going on with our people, let's get focused on what's going on right here. We got so many issues. Memphis, shout out to Young Dolph. Listen, we got so many issues right here. Everybody focused on everybody else except what we got going on right here. We've gone through an administration that didn't even want to clear listen, the Republicans bucking against Joe Biden and the Democrats for wanting to clear student debt for American people. I don't even think it ever happened. Maybe a small percentage of it, but like American tax dollars should go to the American people. Like, how are you bucking against people that tried to better themselves by going to get an education, and we all suffered through COVID? We all got laid off. These are people that said, no, I'm not going to just sit at home on my butt and be lazy. I'm going to try to better myself by going to get an education. And Republicans are bucking against people that were pulling themselves up by the bootstrap, not sitting at home collecting welfare, but say, I'm going to get up and go to school every single day so I can learn a trade, so I can take care of myself and my family. That Republicans against reparations, but sending billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars over to Ukraine. And it was a lot of Republicans bucking against that now, but I'm talking about the ones that's in Congress that actually voted to make it happen. None of us are getting what we need with our tax dollars. The tax dollars are for the American people. They'll vote to send money to Ukraine, Pakistan, Israel, all of these other places. But what about these children getting their head blown off in the street right here? I'm just asking a question. Like, how do you expect me, and why do you get so worked up when it happens in another country, but you can go to any hood in America and there is a loss of life? Somebody that looked like you, somebody whose life was just as valuable, but we get so quick to want to fight for everything else. Like, I'm just over it all. I'm over it all. And like I said, everybody can fight for whatever they want to fight for. And I'm not going to be mad at you, but my fight is Black America. I'm sorry about what's happening everywhere else. And I wish I could do something. Our government can't even fix our problems in America. How you going to go fix somebody else's problems? How y'all gonna sit up here and let the Democrats tell you to give up your guns and then watch them give billions and billions of dollars to these other countries for them to go buy guns to protect themselves against their government? But we can't have our guns for when y'all get ready to come and lock us up and put us in some type of quarantine camp because we ain't took your latest 50th jab that don't work. Can we focus on us? Can we understand that all white people not the enemy? Some of them are. Some Black people the enemy. It's good and evil and everything. Can we understand that all white people not the enemy? Have y'all forgot about the ones they call nigger lovers? Y'all forgot about them? All white people are not our enemy. We going around here judging somebody on the color of their skin when everybody I know that's been murdered by somebody that looked like me. I'm just talking about personal. I'm talking about my family members, baby daddy, you know what I'm saying? That, cousins and, friends that I grew up with that ain't here. I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about. They got us looking for a color or a religion or a sexuality or a political party. Like good and evil ain't in everything. You better look in everything for good and evil. Not just a party, not just a skin color, not just a religion, not just a sexuality. We fight against LGBTQ because we know we got to protect our children, but we know LGBTQ, all of them ain't predators. But really, LGBTQ, you need to pick up your own fight because them people make y'all look like predators. It ain't us. I don't understand it. Y'all listen. Y'all need to go look on my YouTube page. They got a 3 or 4-year-old baby over there on the YouTube page. The 3 or 4-year-old baby is a transgender lesbian, the mama say. What do you mean? What's a transgender lesbian? So he went from a boy to a girl to like girls at 3 years old? Y'all serious? You really gonna let this country go like this? And because we're divided, because Republicans over here fighting to protect the children, Democrats over here saying you want to remove certain books from school, you being racist against LGBTQ. And I'm in the middle like, damn, like, when we going to actually protect the children? Because I don't see, like, even when it comes to Republicans, what y'all doing to protect the children? I hear you online, but when it comes to these laws getting passed, I see a whole lot of laws getting passed and things being placed in our education system that's being passed by Congress, because we got to tell the truth now. These bills don't get passed on their own. We up here divided, all hating each other over partisan politics, when we got to realize it's bipartisan. The Democrats and Republicans have to vote on these bills. It ain't just no Democrats voting. Democrats and Republicans are voting on these bills. So when we are getting upset because we're seeing an online onslaught of attack against Boosie, because Boosie said that he didn't want his 7- and 9-year-old daughters watching The Color Purple because it had an explicit love scene. Boosie was attacked by LGBTQ, and their excuse was, well, you one got your sons and you hired them a stripper and you did this with your sons. And I'm sitting up here saying, now I don't agree with sexualizing no children, right? But reality is this. If Boosie don't turn his sons on the heterosexual sex, y'all gonna turn them on the gay sex. Like, if a man don't take responsibility into teaching his sons to be a man, the education system and society will take responsibility into teaching your sons to be women. Trust me on this one. You thinking, wait a minute, my child ain't got no business even thinking about no sex. I don't even want my child exposed to no type of sex. As soon as your child go to school, they teaching them about gender expression. You done raised Johnny for 5 years before you put him in public education. You and the mama, you and the daddy, y'all done raised Johnny. Y'all done told Johnny he a boy. You done put Johnny name down on the birth certificate. You ain't never put Johnny in a dress. You ain't never told Johnny his name was nothing other than Johnny. When you and daddy, or daddy and mama, when y'all go to the school and enroll Johnny in the school, you got a ton of paperwork to fill out that they give you on the clipboard. And in that paperwork that you fill out, they ask you, what is Johnny's name? You, mama and daddy, or daddy and mama, y'all write down on this clipboard what Johnny's name is. They also ask you about Johnny's sex. Johnny's sex has already been established before y'all make it to the school. So mama and daddy, y'all fill out the paperwork. Johnny is a male. You also write down Johnny's color of his skin. You also write down Johnny's date of birth. You also write down Johnny's social security number. You also write down Johnny's address. Not only do you do that, they want a copy of the birth certificate, as if they don't believe you. They want a copy of the social security card. They want a copy of the utility bill to make sure you ain't lying about where little Johnny stay at. They want a copy of the sign lease. You can't even take them. Okay. You done already gave all these people the information on little Johnny. All of a sudden, Joe Biden's administration and Congress under Joe Biden, Republicans and Democrats have decided that when little Johnny get to school, he can change his name to Joanna. Parents, you don't even know nothing about this. Ain't nobody told you nothing. The school ain't told you. Johnny ain't told you. The principal ain't told you. Not only that, for gender expression, they got a gender closet at the school. You done sent Johnny to school with some pants on. They letting Johnny run around in a dress and calling them Joanna. and saying that they can't tell you because it might put little Johnny in danger. Unfortunately, America, I know y'all mad at Boosie. Unfortunately, here is reality. If you don't introduce your children to heterosexual sex, this government, society, school, the norm will introduce them to homosexual sex. The LGBTQ community, for some reason, is upset with Boosie for how he chooses to raise his children or what he allows his daughter to see, but yet and still, those are his children. It seems to me when it comes to the LGBTQ community, and particularly one person who spoke out against T.S. Madison, you guys are trying to sexualize other people's children. What gives you the right, just because you protect trans kids, protect LGBTQ children, what gives you the right to expose my child to sexuality, but then you gonna turn around and tell me I ain't got the right? Where your children at? Where the babies at that you done popped out your behind? Why you over here telling us what to do with ours? Listen, somebody said Boosie is different. He let a grown woman molest his son. Listen, is the son complaining? Is Boosie complaining? Is the woman complaining? See, this is the issue that I have. As a man, right? Everywhere you go, they turn your children on to homosexuality. I'm trying to drive home a point. I don't support none of it. Everywhere you go, they turn your children on to homosexuality. They got children being walking advertisements for pride. Little babies walking around with advertisements for pride. How is a child a advertisement for a sexual preference? The whole LGBTQ is nothing but sexual preferences. You can't go after Boosie without recognizing what they're doing. And then you can't go after Boosie with understanding why he got every right to expose his son to a heterosexual lifestyle. Because if Boosie don't expose his sons to a heterosexual lifestyle, I promise you his sons will get exposed to a homosexual lifestyle. It's everywhere you go. And they telling you as a parent you don't have a right. Why we don't have a right? Boosie ain't got a right to walk out of the Color Purple with his two daughters. But y'all got a right to have children on stage at the Palace Bar in Miami, 12:30 at night in a drag show, half dressed with media. And I went live for the world to see it and document it. This is what we're up against. Boosie can't take his sons to Magic City to see no women running around with no string in their behind and little stickers on their breasts. He can't take his sons to Magic City. But you can take somebody else's son into an LGBTQ club and put a wig on them and have them half dressed and have them in a drag show at 12 o'clock at night dancing and posing for money. We're gonna have to pick a battle. We're gonna have to pick a side. We're gonna have to pick a side. We don't know what happened with Boosie and his children. I hear what y'all saying, but do we know what happened? And Jessica, you right. But let's be for real. No, we don't. But let's be for real, too. Some of these teenage boys are already having sex. Some of these teenage girls are already having sex. Like, when did y'all lose y'all virginity? Some of us lost our virginity young. I'm just saying, like, children, we need to really, really, really get a hold on this. And if your child is going to be exposed to some type of sexuality, should it be what's natural? Because what I'm telling you now, we have another responsibility as parents, unfortunately, because they are teaching your children about a homosexual lifestyle as early as Sesame Street. We ain't even teaching our children about heterosexuality. Y'all realize that, right? Y'all realize that our kids, 3, 4, 5, 6, we ain't teaching them about heterosexuality. You realize that, right? You realize that we're not teaching them that. It's just, you know, it's normal. You might see your mama and daddy together, but ain't nobody sitting you down and talking to you about no heterosexual sex or no nut. We're not even thinking about that because you are children. You're children. You're supposed to stay a kid. But they are teaching your children about homosexual sex as early as Sesame Street. But you can't tell a child LGBTQ. Let's take one word, bisexual. What is bisexual? Y'all talking about LGBTQ children. What's a bisexual child? Somebody help me understand, because all of these are sexual attractions. Y'all want to get serious about it? A lesbian is a woman that has a sexual attraction to another woman. A gay man is a man that has a sexual attraction to another man. Somebody that is bisexual has a sexual attraction to both sexes. So when did we start identifying our children as anything sexual? Bisexual, gay sexual, lesbian sexual, transsexual, pansexual, two-spirit sexual, asexual. When did we start tying our children to sex? Oh, y'all listen. Love y'all. I got to get ready to start this other interview. My text just came through. You need to make sure you go on my page. I'm going to put this up one more time so y'all can screenshot it. Y'all need to RSVP. If you on IG, you can go to the link in my bio and you can RSVP for this conversation with Kennedy that we're having about issues that are important to us in the community. I want you guys to show up. Guys, there it is right there. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia for the historic MLK weekend, come check us out. I'm going to be there. I'm driving it home with the Black maternal health crisis. We got Angel McCourtney. We're going to talk about gender in sports. Alexia Adams and Crystal Jordan, Black business empowerment. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to talk about censorship. Ladies, make sure you come out. Gentlemen, you are welcome to come as well. But we want to have a conversation with Black women. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because guess what? You in the Black community, talk to the people in that community. Stop letting other people talk to us. There it is right there, guys. Scan that QR code right quick. Go ahead and RSVP. We are very limited at seating. I want to say there's probably only about, last I checked, 15 spots left. So the RSVP will be cut off today. Head on over there. Get your RSVP in. If you're on IG, you can click the link in the bio, guys. I got to get ready to go to work. See you later. Bye. I'm coming back every week, y'all. Beginning February, Ask Kennedy 24. Until then, y'all head over to Kennedy24.com. Bye.